Hi guys, another quick lesson from the Headless Guitar Teacher here. We're going to be looking at ACDC's You Shook Me All Night Long. Really simple track to play both from the rhythm guitar part and for the lead guitar solo, which is a really cool, very simple, very effective approach to a lead guitar solo. We'll do the solo in a second video. Here I'm going to talk you through the various parts of the rhythm section. We're going to talk through the introduction first of all, then the verse pattern, then the chorus pattern, and then the pattern that he uses to play through the guitar solo, which is very similar to the chorus but slightly different. We'll get into where in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to play through the introduction first of all, and then I'll walk you through it. Okay, so we're playing in the key of G, and the chords that he's playing, the two chords that he's using in the introduction section are a G chord and a D chord. The G pattern that he's playing starts with the third finger on the first fret on the third finger, first string, third fret, and then the second finger on the second string, third fret, and you're playing the first four strings. So strum that. Strum through the first four strings, so you're playing the G note on the first string, and then strum lightly on the fourth, maybe the third string as well. And then add with your little finger, reach up to the A note, the fifth string on the fifth fret on the first string, then release that. Then you're playing the second fret on the first string with your index finger, the F sharp note, releasing the G with your third finger. So 1, 2. So notice that I'm playing the first string to get the key notes in there, but all of the rest of the time I'm strumming lightly on the third and the fourth strings just to keep the rhythm going through that, because this is the only thing that's playing. There's no other instrument playing during the introduction except the rhythm guitar. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that part there, at the end, what I'm doing is holding the D chord. Once we've played, I'm switching my index finger to the third string on the second fret, and I'm playing a D chord, but I'm killing, so I'm picking the E string here, but my second finger is leaning across that first string, so that it plays the second note, string note, but it doesn't play the first string note. Okay, so once you've released that part, you've got to make sure that your second finger leans across and kills that first string. Okay, then from there my third finger now comes up to the fourth string on the third fret. I'm trying to get my little finger out of the way. So you pick it with the fourth and third string together, pull it slightly, sharp, and then release and play those fourth and third strings together again. And then third finger goes back to the fourth string on the third fret and slides up to the fourth fret. Pick the third string open, third finger back on the third fret on the fourth string, pick and release. Okay? Okay, we'll do that again. And again. And then back to a G chord. Okay? So we'll play that from the start again. 2, 3, 4. Repeat, and then just stop on the D chord, hit it once and stop picking, and then hold that for the 2 bars and then kill it, ready for the drums to come in. Okay, so we play the intro through again. 1, 2, 3, 4. the 4th beat, kill it. And now we're into the verse. So again, the chords in the verse, it's in again obviously in the key of G. The chords we're playing are G, C, which is C with an added 9th effectively, and then a D. Okay. So the G we're playing, obviously 1st finger on the 5th string 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the 6th string 3rd fret. We're using both fingers down here to play the 1st and 2nd strings on the 3rd fret. And we're doing that so that it works for the C and for the D chord as well, okay? So the verse rhythm goes like this. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what he's doing, again, I'm counting the timing so that you know where the sort of syncopated picking is. I'm using all down strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just one hit on the 1st beat on the G chord. 2, 3, 4. And then on the 4.5 beat, the and after the 4, you hit the C chord and leave your first 2 fingers your 3rd and 4th fingers in place on the first 2 strings, and then move your 1st and 2nd fingers down to the 4th and 5th strings. 2nd fret, 3rd fret for the C chord. 2, 3, 4. C, G, C, G, D. And for the D, so you're playing C, G, C, G, D. And then for the D chord, I'm just dropping my index finger to the 3rd string on the 2nd fret. My 2nd finger's in the air. My 3rd finger's come off that 1st string, doesn't have to. What I'm doing is I'm killing that note with my 2nd finger again so that it doesn't sound. Okay? 2, 3, 4. Okay, we'll do that again. 2, 3, 4. G, C, G, C, G, D. Okay? And then the second part of the phrase, he's playing a G chord, again using just the first 4 strings, and then switching to a D chord. And by switching to the D chord, what he's doing is releasing the 1st string with the little finger, and again killing it with the 2nd, and putting the index finger down on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So it looks like... Okay. So from the top we're getting 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Back again. 2, 3, 4. 3rd time through. Exactly the same. 3, 4. Last time through, changes to a full D chord, which I'm using all 3 fingers for, and then just gets louder and louder as the rest of the band comes in. Okay, so that's the verse. Only twiddly bit is to make sure that you're killing the 1st string with your 3rd finger as you're moving through from the G to the D chord, getting the picking on the right syncopated note so that you're hitting the notes on the half beats and on the 1st beats the way he is on the record. Okay? The chorus then starts with a, once you've done your 3, 4, back to a G chord. Hit the G chord, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's walk through that. So what we're doing is we're switching from a G to a C to a D, okay? And we're going from the G chord, and instead of stopping it like we did in the verse, we're going to hit through the G chord and keep it open and ringing to give it a big full sound. And then we're going to run on the 5th string, we're going to run from the A note, B B note with the second finger on the second fret, C chord, C note on the third fret, and then behind that we're playing the C chord with the other two fingers, okay? So as soon as I hit that C note with my third finger, my second finger has to drop to the fourth string and my index finger's gone into the second string, okay? And the second part of that, I'm playing, dropping to the B note on the second finger, and I'm leaving my index finger in place. D. Okay, so from the start, 2, 3, 4. And all I'm doing, picking below, picking the C note, and then picking the fourth string below it, and then the fifth and sixth strings. Bit random, doesn't really matter what strings you're picking as long as you're getting something in there. Same again. So to get to the D, you're doing exactly the same thing to get back to the G through the C chord. All you need to be worried about is when you hit each chord, the G, you hit the G note on the sixth string, C note on the fifth string, B note on the fifth string, D note on the fourth string. Okay? So your picking has to be quite accurate here. And as with all Angus Young stuff, he's jumping about the stage like a lunatic. His head is bouncing off all of the walls. His legs are everywhere. His hand never moves from the bridge of the guitar. It's very economical, very accurate, which is why he's able to play when he's jumping around, because nothing moves in this square here. Everything stays the same. He might as well be nailed to the wall. And then you're back to the second verse. So the chorus in the first time is only 2 times through. Chorus the second time too is 4 times through. So depending on where you are in the song, you'll just repeat those in slightly different ways. Then we get to the guitar solo. Now the guitar solo uses the same patterns as it does in the chorus, but it's slightly different way of playing. You're playing it much tighter for the first times through. So you're playing G. And all I'm doing is I'm picking the 2 strings together, say, but I'm hitting those notes, the G note, and I'm hitting maybe the 5th string below as well. Then running up and hitting the 5th string, the C note, and maybe the 4th string below it as well. Then the B note, then the D note. And notice the timing. Whereas in the chorus you're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the D happens on the 1 beat and the G happens on the 1 beat. When you get into the chorus, the guitar solo, the D chord and the G chord happen on the syncopated half beat before the 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Then you're into the second part of the chorus where everything lets loose, or the guitar solo where everything lets loose, and you're back to exactly the same as it was in the chorus. Now to get out of the song, at the very end, you're playing a D chord. And then you're adding the G note at the top of the D chord, so the D sus4 chord. And then the song ends suddenly on that D chord. You never go back to the G. So that's the whole thing. You've got all the bits there. Listen to the song, put it together. You've got the different bits to put in when he's playing the right thing at the right time. Listen to a live recording. It probably happens slightly differently depending on which concert it was at. So that's the song. Have fun.